Namaste. We continue our third installment in the series of Kautilyan Psychology and its use in strategy. So there are various people throughout history who we may have thought were so cool, they always knew what the other person is thinking. And as a result of which, they were able to act and do that which was in the benefit of themselves, their kingdom, their organization. And that's what we mentioned last time when we spoke about knowing yourself and knowing others. So we spoke a little bit about knowing ourselves. Let's speak a little bit about knowing others. Where does that come from? For instance, we may say that whether it was Acharya Chanakya or whether it was Tenali Raman, they were always ahead of their adversaries. How did they know what their adversaries are thinking? It comes from close study before the actual action happens. Let's take an example from sport. Last time we spoke about Andre Agassi and Boris Becker. This time we'll speak about another popular leader, MS Dhoni. Many of you may be aware of the legendary South African player first batsman and then coach called Gary Kirsten. Kirsten speaks about the time when he was the coach and MS Dhoni was preparing to be the leader of the test team. All of us are familiar of the time when he led the Indian T20 team to victory in 2007. And as a result of that, it was being planned that now he should become the captain in all formats, right? But easier said than done. There were a lot of seniors who were still around. And therefore it was planned by the authorities that we will slowly groom him under Kumble. Now, there's an incident that Kirsten speaks about. And Kirsten says, many of the seniors would turn up for the team meetings late. Now, Kumble was the captain then. And Kumble, after seeing that just telling isn't helping, he put in a rule in place. And the rule was that whoever turns up late for the team meetings will have to pay up a hefty amount. Let's say it was 10,000. So 10,000 should matter a lot, right? But it didn't matter to those who were earning in crores. So it didn't change situations very much. And this continued, that means they continued to turn up late for the team meetings, despite the fine. Obviously, Dhoni was his deputy then, was observing all of this. When he became the captain, he tweaked that rule just a little bit. And the rule now was that whenever someone turns up for the team meeting late, the rest of the team would pay for the fine. That means if it was 10,000 that was being paid by the latecomer initially, now everyone else in the team needs to cough up 10,000. You can imagine the pressure that it put on the offender to now ensure that the rules are followed, because now they had the pressure from all the team. Amazing, isn't it? But do you think this was just the genius of Dhoni? Yes, but based on the experience and the careful study that he did under the leadership of Kumble and his observation of the various team players. Now, what do we do with it? So Acharya says that notice how people are responding. Last time we spoke about notice how people are responding to your words or responding to your gestures, isn't it? Now this time we say observe, observe, observe people. Study them carefully to notice what are their patterns. What are patterns? Patterns are repeated behaviors. Patterns are experiences accumulated over a period of time. A one-time behavior is not a pattern. That judgment shouldn't be made. But if you see, as Dhoni saw, that there is a repeated behavior, he noticed there was a pattern. When you notice that pattern, you can identify that pattern. So Acharya gives us a guideline and he says that the patterns of people can be identified into 4 kinds of mindsets. They are called Kruddha, Lubdha, Bhita and Manina. I repeat, Kruddha, Lubdha, Bhita and Manina. Kruddha, we can say, are driven by emotion. Lubdha are driven by what's in it for me. Bhita are those driven by fear or pressure. And Mani or Manina are those who are driven by attention. Now, study the people in front of you. When I say in front of you, those who are important to you, either in your own organization or in your ecosystem. They could be competitors, they could be vendors. And try and identify over a period of time, what does the pattern tell you about them? But you can also start with yourself. You know yourself best, but don't presume anything, because sometimes even our judgments of ourselves are misleading. So through your observations over a period of time, and please put down these observations. Remember, in school we used to write observation 1, 2, 3, 4 readings. And only after making those readings did we say what are we inferring from it and then find the conclusion. Remember that? Similarly, make observations of your own behavior in your dealings with people. See, is there a pattern that is showing up? And identify, are you Kruddha, driven by emotion by and large? Driven by emotion are people who are temperamental, right? Who wear their emotion on their sleeve, so to say. Emotion is what drives their actions. Identify whether it's that, or is it Lubdha? And Lubdha are those who are always looking for what is the value in it for me before taking any action. And only when they see that benefit very clearly, they take that. Are you that? Or are you Bhita? Bhita, are you driven by fear of what people may say, or driven by fear of what a higher authority may do, or driven by a fear of what the government may do? That's Bhita. And Mani is where you are driven by attention. Attention may show up in 2 ways. At a, I would say, a slightly lower level, it may merely be seeking attention that I want acknowledgement. But at a higher level, it could mean I want recognition, I want honor, I would like to be rewarded. Is that what you are seeking? Once you are clear about your own pattern, put it down. Next time, we will see what to do with it. Similarly, you can start observing people around you, but don't judge them yet. Okay? Only write your patterns. Let's see how this helps in dealing with people better. Maybe this is exactly the kind of knowledge that was used by Acharya to make history. Dhanyavad.